I was asking, what if you had the power? What policies would you put in place to help black youth get in a position of power?
To get in a position of power, these are the policies I would put down. If you had farms or you got grants from the state that help you keep your farm, in those grants, you also had to build 5 farmers along with that grant. Businesses. If you got a small business loan anywhere on any side of the town, once you hit 5 years, now you implement 5 more people that you teach this business to. What I've been learning is that we can go out here and get grants to build as many businesses as we want. But if we do not teach the young ones how to run the businesses, then the policy don't matter. And that's what we got to do. We got to teach our kids now more about surviving for real in the real world and not about surviving in a computer world. The real wealth in the new world is ownership and the power to feed yourself. So if I'm a politician, all I want to do is bring as many community leaders that own and have built something and make them give a time to a certain amount of youth and show them where and find the heroes and the stars of our communities young. We wait too late. See, if you wait by 12, 13, the street got them already. But if you start them small, if you got the little boy out there cleaning up stalls, messing with cattle and stuff like that, early goats, they tend to love stuff like that. Streets will never be able to get them. If you give them something real, the fake will never grab their attention. Because one thing about it, man, is that when you give a kid a skill that helps him grow and gives him responsibility, you are really giving him the keys of being a great man. And that's what we got to do. We got to put the keys, we got to make the people. See, what I'm learning is, in this new world, everybody get rich and get quiet. They get rich and get quiet. Why? Why you quiet? You should have a weekend where you go in your community and you teach people about why you successful. Because the black businesses are this. The reason why we create black business and it stay around 30 and 40 years, and then when the head matriarch die, the business die. It dies because it dies because look at it dies because the knowledge of how to run this business was never passed down to the family. That's how we lose our wealth. If we don't understand that we have to build something, I want our people to get out of you got to build something to sell it. That's somebody else's culture. You're supposed to build something to hold it so your family can eat generations off of it. That's the new trick in this new world. Build it to sell it. Yeah, but to sell it to who? It might be a community out here, their main focus is to buy your power. If you never understand what your power is, then shit, you ain't really living by no policies no way. They just lying to you.
Lying to you. Man, that's dope. That's hard. You're right, man. So to pivot from that, so what curriculum do we put in place? If you had a school, what curriculum would you put in place to instill these values?
Everything that we know ain't working in school right now. What they took out of school that we value so much. When we went to school, every kid had an instrument. When we went to school, every kid had home economics. How to set the plate, how to cook, how to just take care of yourself. Another thing we had in school, carpentry. They took that out of school. But carpentry is what has given our community the strength to survive against anything as long as this country been living. Because I just left Mississippi And I met this man that had 17 kids. He said, Gipp, you know why I can keep having kids? I said, why? He said, because a brick they gonna keep having me build these houses. So think about that. A bricklayer that couldn't even read or write, but he raised 17 kids because he always knew the world about math and paper. As long as I know math, I know how to count. And as long as I work, they can't never stop me from having none. So that's the real thing. It's about when you think about us now, most men scared to have a family now because we don't know what we don't know. Most men that ain't touching $500,000 or $1 million, they ain't thinking about no kids. But you gotta remember, black people used to get married off nothing but love. They ain't had no money. So that's what we gotta get back to. Love and teaching kids how to survive. If most of these kids ain't never chucked no corn, ain't never went out in the pea field and had to get them butter beans and them pinto beans, all that with Big Mama at 7 o'clock. Go get them blackberries out there. Man, most of these kids don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. They be like, "Give that shit foreign language." But I'm like, hey, bro, that's the shit that's gonna really keep you alive. Cause see everything that these kids love, power. They shut the power off. What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna be a bunch of junkies to phone apps and a lifestyle that you can't live no more because you can't see in everybody's house. See, that's the one thing about the phone. You can see in everybody's house. When we grew up in the world, you didn't know what was going on in folks' house. So rules and regulations was present. Dad and mama were present. What I teach you in these walls, you go out there and fight the world with. We forgot. Now we bring the world in our house all day. The world in our house. So that's what we got to do as black men, man. Everything that they took away from us, I think is the foundation back to us being strong.
Last question, and you may agree or disagree. From my perspective, I see a lot of people. I'm 43.
Yeah.
So, I take my role serious in the community as a man. You understand what I'm saying? I see a lot of people my age. They want to be younger. They want to still be outside. They want to still do things they were doing back in 2000. It's a different day and age now.
And that's why we as a community, we in last place.
Yeah.
That's why Mexicans can come over here, Indians can come over here, Chinese can come over here, and they'll build a $1 million business right in your face just because you ain't got discipline. That's it. Because all it is like, shit, man, you right. Because this the first era that I ever seen the mama and the daughter party in the same strip club. Like, I ain't never seen that shit before. That shit, but that is today's world. the mama party with the daughter in the strip club. And damn near go with the same guys. So you gotta look, man, like everybody trying to reverse the clock. They scared of the gray. They scared of the knowledge, man. The gray ain't doing nothing but giving you knowledge.
That's it. That's all it
This
is.
shit prestige, man. Cause half the folk we went to school with didn't even make it out of high school, man.
They didn't make it.
You think about us just experimenting with 8 Ball, with just malt liquor.
Yeah.
Some of my friends didn't get out that era.
Yeah.
So you gotta look, man, like what them people are afraid of is getting old. The only thing you guaranteed is to live and die.
That's it.
And until we understand that fact, we'll never understand consolidated power. How can a country that's so small run the whole world? Because they understand consolidation through power, through ownership, brings you total control over everything. If we just gonna be customers and teach our kids just to be customers, all you doing is teaching them how to be a modern slave, a consumer.
That's all I had. I ain't sit up here and force nothing. That was it. That was it.